Hello everyone, my name is Webweaver, and welcome back to another episode of It's Look Who It Is, a double banger, 2 in 1 day, perhaps? I actually don't know if I recorded the last one, like, before midnight or after midnight, but, like, you know, two episodes B to B, bro. Let's do this together, bro. I don't know, I did do a little bit of writing, but also, for literally no reason, okay. We have to roll the clock back a little bit. We have to go to the beginning of the story very briefly. People's favorite thing for me to do, right? I normally write on my phone. It is the most convenient way for me to do it. I don't like sitting at my desk while I'm writing. I don't like the distractions of being on the computer, even though the phone is a nightmare distraction, always online, evil box. Evil rectangle, evil glass rectangle in my pocket. Get the heck out of here. You're in front of my face. Get the heck out of here. I'm recording a whoa. Whoa! So I usually write on my phone, but the autocorrect for Apple has just gotten so insanely, mind-bogglingly, like, frustrating. Like, it's incredible how bad it is, and I think, and I could be wrong, but this is just, we're playing jury. We're playing jury, alright? I'm feeling pretty good right now. I want to do a jury run, because, you know, could only make me feel better, probably, hopefully. Scars Guezo. Little Scars Guezo. How do you feel about that? The autocorrect on Apple, on Notes, is just so... Okay, let me give you an example, okay? I am trying to focus. I'm trying really, really, really hard to focus, okay? And I type a very, very simple word that I type a lot in the process of the book, which is, it's a three-letter word. Starts with an H, ends with an R, there's an E in the middle. Her. Okay? I write the word her. And do you know what my fucking phone autocorrects it to? Do you know what Tim Apple Cook, this motherfucker, thinks it's okay to autocorrect to? And I want to just preface this. I have never, in my entire life, that's probably a lie, but I don't eat these things. I've never bought one of them. I've never ate one of them. I don't talk about them. I don't like them. Well, actually, you know, I can't say that. I've never had one. I've never bought one. I don't know what they taste like. I don't even know what they look like. It autocorrected her 3 times in a row to Hershey's. It boggled my mind. It frustrated me to no end, to no fucking end. I was just fucking perplexed. My mind was boggled, okay? I was so fucking confused. I had no idea what was going on. It happened 3 times in a row. How the hell can anyone concentrate when you're trying to write a fictional story, a fantasy fictional story, and then when you are describing the actions of one of your characters, it autocorrects with the name of I think a chocolate. Dude, that was, okay. That one was bad, but I think that this is an AI autocorrect thing. I think that it is, like, taking data from what, like, people usually use when they're, like, writing stuff down, and then it's just, like, suggesting corrections, even if they don't make any goddamn sense. And then it also has, like, a smart learning thing, which I think is actually relatively okay, but I would rather if it were manual. where when you have a character's name or you repeat like a name a lot or it thinks it's a name, it will autocorrect and autofill, which is pretty nice. It's pretty nice. I like it a lot. It is very frustrating though, because I have a character whose name starts with R-E, okay? And so whenever I'm writing your, like Y-O-U''R-E, you know what happens? It autocorrects and autofills the character's name in every single time, which is really annoying. But because I have so many characters who have, like, names that I have to remember, not you, the reader. You, the reader, you have to remember, like, 4 or 5 characters' names tops, okay? Maybe 6. I'm not counting higher than that, though. But me, you know, the person writing it all, I do need to be aware of the characters' names and what's going on. I do actually have to be aware of that. And, you know, so it's very helpful that it does do that for the most part, where it's like, there's a character's name that I wrote, like, 2 months ago, and then I start typing the first letters of it, and then it autofills there. That's really good. That's really good. I like that. That's really good. I think that's a good feature. But, like, everything else is just so goddamn frustrating. And I want to turn... I remember turning autocorrect off. And I don't know how to turn it off again, because it re-enabled itself or whatever. Rearing its ugly fucking head. And it's just... I hate it. I hate it. But it's not even the worst example. I have so many godforsaken screenshots that just drove me up the wall, okay? It was so frustrating. The one that really bothered me recently, that I ended up, like, DMing friends about because I was just so mad about it, was, there's a character who is, like, starved, you know? So, emaciated. And it would not let me spell emaciated. It kept autocorrecting to emancipated. And it literally, I would go back, I would hit the, like, because whenever it does, like, an autocorrect spelling thing, right? It always, like, there's a, like, if you backspace, it'll, like, pop up the word that you spelled, even if it's wrong, and then you can hit, like, the backspace. But you can hit, like, there's, like, an undo button next to the word that you typed. And it will, like, go back, right? Every single time I would do that, and I would go back, I would hit space to write the next word, and then it would autocorrect back to emancipated. And it was just like, brother. Brother, please. Tim Apple, you motherfucker. It drives me crazy. So my last episode writing session was interrupted because I couldn't fucking focus because the autocorrect kept correcting to this dumb shit that was just so bothersome and annoying. And it's like, just for the love of God, let me write my bad fiction in peace, please. That's all I want to do. That's all I want to do. I carved out some time for it in the fucking day. Could you just let me do that? And then, of course, you know, everybody when the horror shows up to the fucking function. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Thanks for showing up, man. Thanks for showing up. 28% on the horror meter? Bruh. We're on Scars, by the way, and we're on Goizo, and we're on Jury. It's like a pretty nasty combination if you think about it. It's kind of like a nasty combination if you think about it. Like, you ever think about that? I don't even know if this was worth doing. Like, is this worth doing, bro? I don't know. We're going to Fear Festival next, so, like, fuck it, man. Yeah, sure. We're just gonna have to pick a god and pray. We're just kind of getting... Thanks for the knowledge EXP, man. I appreciate it. But yeah, so I wanted to write on my computer. I wanted to try to do that. Because at least I don't even know if your computer has autocorrect. Because I definitely turn that shit on if it does. Or I turn that shit off if it does. This is gonna do 6 damage. I mean, you're doing 1, so it's like we can kind of ball. We can do a little. We can do a little balling. This is gonna do 8. This is gonna do 6. That's a kill, man. As long as one of them hits, we're having a good time. Oh shit. Okay, we're having a good time. It's fine. We were just gambling. We were just gambling. It's World of Horror. We love gambling. We're also gonna lose this run, but don't worry about that. We've got enough anecdotes to more than make up for it, so don't you worry. Alright, it's gonna be a banter-heavy episode. You motherfucker. You piece of shit. You motherfucker. Sorry, I'm a little upset right now. But yeah, no, so I wanted to write on my, computer, because it is a distraction box, and it was very bothersome. It was very difficult. I cannot, like, sitting at the computer to write something is just, like, I don't know how anyone does that. It's so, like, listen, man, I want to be, like, walking around in my apartment writing, or I want to be, like, on my bed and writing. I don't want to be sitting down I don't want to be sitting down at my chair, and I don't want to be sitting at my desk. It's just too distracting, man. It's just too distracting. I really wish I could have some sort of, like, it would be the dream, okay? I mean, we are getting lost in our thoughts here, so don't mind if I do, right? It would be the absolute dream, okay? If I could, we've succeeded 2 knowledge checks in a row with 4 knowledge. That's pretty cool, if I do say so myself. You motherfucker. The horror is just gonna keep creeping on up. Meanwhile, we're on mystery freaking 1. But you know, so I was writing on Obsidian, and, you know, new hell just dropped, which is that every time I'm writing on Obsidian, I just stare at the word count, and I cannot help myself, and it's so annoying. That's not really Obsidian's fault, and there's probably a way to turn off the word count button, but it's just like, god damn it, man. God damn it. They're, like, I don't know, I just have so many. I have such a skill issue, man. I've got, like, stupid idiot brain disease. It's like I just... You know, just, like, drag me out back behind the shed and pull the fucking trigger, man. Like, I don't know what I don't know, bro. It's crazy. But, I want to do, like, Fear Festival or something, right? I want to do something fast. I want to do something fast, something easy, something quick. Something that doesn't hurt that much because we have scars. But, you know, a little onsen won't hurt. It's just 2% on the horror meter. Nothing wrong with that, brother. Nothing wrong with that, sister. Nothing wrong with that, NB. No. Absolutely not. Goodbye, Kazumi. Well, I guess we are just gonna have to assume the worst in some circumstances. In some circumstances, but hopefully not all. No. Two funds for Masafumi, just for Masafumi to play tag, just for Masafumi to join the episode as a temporary cast member. Yeah, I don't really think so. Now, Iwa the Rock for 3 stamina, brother. I would have sold my handcuffs to get you in the party. Don't even sweat it. Don't even think about it, man. We're rolling. We're balling. But so as I was trying to write on my computer, and I was having a great difficulty doing this, I did make a little bit of progress, okay? I did make a little bit of progress. The thing is, it's just the way that I have to do it, and I'm kind of realizing that the way that I have to do it is the most, like, inefficient and annoying way possible. It's just sort of like I have to do it this way, or I'm kind of, like, just in hell. Is that this is so embarrassing, man. Obsidian on the mobile phone devices, you motherfucker. Obsidian on the mobile phone, did I say home? God damn it. Mobile phone devices. What if you just did bonus? Like, what if you just did bonus? Like, what if you just did bonus, man? What if you just rounded up to 15 like you always do? Yeah, what if you just rounded up to 15 like you always do? Like, integer overflow to 15? Thank you so much, I really appreciate it. Coughing blood, huh? It's not good. That is not good. We might actually just keel over and die. Like, have you ever thought about that? We could definitely keel over and die. not give me the boss fight. Unless it's really quick, you're giving me the boss fight. Motherfucker, it's like, I know, I have a sixth sense for this. Brother. Are you serious? Are you for real? 8 damage a turn? No, I'll just die. I'll just die, thank you so much. I'll just die. I'll just cry myself to sleep. But as I was, elusive would be kind of nice, but we'll get that later, hopefully. So, the thing is, I need a very specific writing environment in order to write. I'm like, you know that thing where it's like there's, that house plant that, like, you have to take care of it, give it the proper soil, make sure that the soil has, like, a pH nutrient balance, it gets just the right amount of sunlight, just the right amount of water, or it, like, instantly dies, versus, like, that other house plant that, like, you know, maybe you water it once a month, maybe it gets sun once a month, and it's just, like, enduring. You know, I am the delicate plant, okay? Me playing, is it Star Sector? What the hell is, like, the space Terraria game? Where you could be, like, a floral? Or, like, a Nova kid? What the hell am I thinking of? What the hell am I thinking of, man? I don't know. I don't know why that came out of the memory bank. But, we're just gonna delete that from the memory bank so I never think about that again. I think I played it for like an hour, man. I just remember being a plant. But yeah, no, I need such a specific writing environment. And one aspect of that is that I need to just be able to type. And I just need to be able to type and type and type and not have any stupid shit pop up. And the autocorrect is really testing that. But the thing is, with fucking Obsidian on the mobile phone, it is so frustrating to use. It is so frustrating to use Obsidian on the mobile phone. It's downright, like, it's not unworkable. It's not unusable. It's just so, like, I don't know what it is about it. Like, I'm gonna try to use it more. But it's like, the thing is, when I make a typo, or I realize there's a typo in the, you know, the current, like, page or whatever, and I hold the screen to what would I normally assume be, like, the magnifying glass that lets me kind of precisely scroll between to get to the exact letter that I want. Like, doing that on Obsidian, it creates, like, this big purple highlight thing that is impossible to navigate. You can't tap it to go away. You have to, like, drag both of the ends of it to where you want to go, and then you have to, like, it's borderline unusable for my purposes, okay? Like, I know it's fine. I know it's good, and I do like the fact that I can copy it. Like, okay, I cannot import Apple Notes into Obsidian. That's a fucking lie. That, I don't know, like, I hate advertising, man. I can just rant about this shit for 20 hours, but we need to get back to the primary anecdote of what I'm trying to say, which is impossible because one thing leads into another, and then it's 20 minutes fucking later, and we have like 10 minutes more in this run, okay? But, you know, Obsidian does have a feature where you can import Apple Notes into Obsidian. But, and they don't advertise this, I didn't find out about it until I bought the fucking, you know, sync, and then I downloaded the add-on, or what, the community add-on to import Apple Notes, like the Apple Notes importer. I think it's an official add-on, but like the community add-on or whatever, right? Here's the thing. 10 perception check, fuck everything, it doesn't matter, okay? In order for the Apple Notes importing to work, because Tim Apple, Steve Apple, they're motherfuckers, and they made everything proprietary for no reason. Apple Notes encodes in some dumbass way that no other application can, like, fucking interact with, which is why you need, like, a special importing software in the first place. But the thing is, they use some sort of stupid file structure on the phone that makes it to where the importer can't read it. And so in order for the importer to be able to read it, do you know what you have to do? You have to have an actual Mac. You have to have an actual fucking Macintosh, and you have to import it from your fucking desktop. And it's like, brother, I haven't had a Mac since like 2012 or 2011. I had a Mac. When did I have a Mac? Like probably like 2010? Like I don't know what to say, man. So you know what I do in order to get my Apple Notes? Because here's the thing, Apple Notes, despite being laggy as hell because my phone is dying and can't hold a battery charge for more than an hour. And my phone also doesn't charge until I restart it like twice. Okay. Yeah, we can do that, right? Ah, it's just an injury, man. It's just a broken nose. Who cares? It's fine. Nobody has to worry about that. It's just a broken nose. It works well enough, okay? I wanted something that was just simple. I want to just write the damn thing, okay? That's all I wanted. That's the only thing that I wanted, was just to be able to write the damn thing. That's it. That's all I wanted. I just wanted to be able to open something up and write it, no frills. Okay? No frills. That's it. No frills. I just want to be able to type. And it's laggy as hell. My phone overheats because it's like, you know, almost a 10-year-old iPhone that is, you know, the battery is dead or dying, probably going to explode at some point, because how hot the phone gets is really kind of ridiculous, honestly. I'm just using music and notes, man. It should not be getting that hot. But then again, I do look at some of the chapters and it's like, you know, like 30,000 words, and it's like, maybe that's a little bit big for Notes. Maybe Notes doesn't want to have that shit going, you know? Maybe Notes ain't built like that. Maybe I shouldn't be doing stuff like that. Maybe I should do more chapter breaks, because, like, the app is more responsive when I'm not working on, like, a 30,000, 40,000, you know, note, I suppose. Because it is, like, the Notes app, man, you know? But, like, all I want to do is just be able to start typing. And I want to be able to use what I personally view as intuitive controls. I don't know if they actually are intuitive, but being able to, like, hold, to get the magnifying glass, to go to the letter, and then to be able to type, it works for me, okay? It works for me. That's what I like. That's what I use to write, okay? Obsidian, just, it does things a little bit too differently for it to be comfortable. And I don't want to learn new things. I just want to type. That's all I want to do. All I want to do is type, which is why I hate Bibisco. Bibisco. The writing app. It's really cool. I really like it, but I can't use it. I can't use it because everything is a scene. Everything is a scene. Every time you make a character, it prompts you to give like 30 billion different like personal information about the character. Like, oh, what's their eye color? What's their hair color? What's their blood type? What's their facial structure? What's their, like, history? Who are their parents? It's like, dude, I'll get to that part when I write it in, like, 40 hours. I know in my head what it's gonna be. But, like, if you're prompting me to do all this shit, I'm just gonna get bogged down in, like, the 20 different fucking details, man. So it's like, I should have just taken the Doom, man. I should have just taken the Doom. Why am I playing like an idiot? Why am I playing like a moron? I don't know, bro. I don't know, dude. Let's do this together, janitor. Let's knock this lamp over together, bro. I'm not even gonna entertain fighting. Even with old scars, I'm not gonna entertain fighting. Why would I? Just put the burns in the bag, bro. Give me the level up. Put the burns in the bag. What if I just did this, huh? What if I just even further beyond, huh? What if we went to abnormal arms, huh? What if I went here, and what if I sold the handcuffs, and what if I got the fucking burns treated? I don't need to get the broken nose treated, man. Who cares? It's a broken nose. Me when I don't want to go to the doctor. Yo, the discharge summary? It's kind of ballin', though, not gonna lie. But, okay, so where is this anecdote going? Okay, I sat down at my computer to try to write because my phone's pissing me off. Well, you see, Dog making her appearance once again as the most consistent cameo character over the years. Definitely for real. She's asleep right now. She's taking a snooze. She's taking a nap. She's very cute, yes. She has her head buried into her little bed. It's very cute. Here's the thing, right? She wanted to go to bed. And normally, I'm in bed because I'm writing, and I want to write in bed, and it's late at night, so I'm in bed. But I didn't want to be on my phone, and I don't have my laptop set up for writing. I guess I could set my laptop up for writing. That's a good idea. I'm glad I thought of it. I did actually get, like, a new little table thing as well for my bed. Like, it's a little, like, bed table. So you, like, put it over you, and you can have your laptop sitting there. That's pretty cool, right? But yeah, no. I wanted to write on my computer, but Dog wanted to go to bed. And listen, you know, I gotta respect Dog. I gotta respect her. It's true. Bro, we're almost one-turn killing Miku with no attack speed modifier? That's kind of insane. Like, check this shit out, man. 100% chance to hit, by the way. That's kind of nutty. Jury kind of does just scale like that. And by that, I mean we do have Iwa, so it's like, you know, don't worry about it too much. Yeah, just get me disemboweled. Why don't? It's just a tiny cut. It's just a little cut. It would never have any long-term consequences. But yeah, so Dog wants to go to bed, and so it's time to go to bed. So that means that I go to bed. I'm on my phone, and I'm trying to write, but I'm still pissed off. I'm still mad. I'm just thinking about how much I hate Tim Apple autocorrect, and how much I hate Obsidian feeling clunky when I'm trying to write notes, right? Not when I'm trying to write notes, when I'm trying to write. I have started writing notes, though. I've been embracing the writing and the literature arc, okay? So that I'm not a LARPer when Merceau's Kanto comes out. I'm reading The Strangers soon, presumably, if my book order arrives. It's really strange. I got a confirmation email saying that the order was gonna be a thing, and then, you know, I go on the website and it says my order was canceled, but they took my money. So, you know, presumably I'm getting The Stranger, along with some other books that, you know, we'll dedicate we'll dedicate some time to, because it's its own thing. It's its whole Pandora's fucking box. Which, that completely reminds me, there's another Pandora's box related anecdote that I wanted to do. But, you know, I'm on my phone. It's pissing me off. I get distracted. I can't write. That's okay. I did a decent amount of writing. I wanted to have the first draft done by tomorrow. But guess what? I'm a fucking idiot and I have stupid brain disease. So I just got, like, you know, I have stupid idiot brain disease or something. So, you know, they're preparing for something. Whoa. You know, I just got into the situation where I just kept, like, getting anxious about finishing something and then never doing it. So it's like, you know, we've done 1 billion knowledge checks and we've made them all successful, so let's do it again. Goddamn right. Sometimes you can just, like, feel that World of Horror is gonna go your way, man. Like, sometimes you just know that World of Horror is gonna, like, just, like, let you ball out of your fucking mind. Like, WoW just does that, man. Like, you enter the flow state and you're like, yeah, we're gonna succeed this. And then you do, 100% of the time. Aw, shit. What if we died here? It's possible. Oh, fuck. Which one of these is... It's back out as stamina. Yay. We're good. We're perfect. We're wonderful. Blood Moon? That's power. Okay, that's power. We're fine with that. We're alright with that. We're okay with that. Look at this shit. Look at that shit. And it's like we're not even scared anymore. It's like we're not even afraid. It's like we're not even afraid, man. It's like we're not even fucking scared anymore. 72 on the horror meter. Like, I don't care about the Doom, bro. Like, I know the Skinwalker's already, you know, trying on the new digs, the new suit, the new drip. But not today, bro. Not yet. Not yet. You gotta wait. You gotta wait. You tried on the clothes. You had a free trial. Now, if you don't mind, you're gonna have to wait just a little bit. You're gonna get your new suit, but you are gonna have to wait just a little bit. We can take some stamina damage. That's fine. Stamina penalty increased is not particularly what you want, but this is absolutely what you want. This is the greatest thing I've ever seen in my life. But yeah, you know, I can't concentrate, I can't write, it is what it is. So I'm just kind of idle, and I really don't want to doom scroll Twitter. I really don't want to doom scroll Twitter. So, I start thinking to myself, I have an idea for what I want the cover, like, obviously, you know, like the digital amateur cover of the book to be, right? Like, I've got a pretty strong idea in my mind on what I want. Now, I am not an artist. I cannot draw, I cannot paint. The closest thing is, well, okay, I'm not gonna say that I'm an artist, because that is pretentious, that is LARPing. The closest that I've got is that I really do like to paint Warhammer minifigures, and that is an art form. I just don't think that I am artful about it, okay? I'm very hard on myself, okay? I hold myself to a very high impossible standard that nobody could ever meet, but I only hold myself to that standard. Now, of course, when I talk about it as sort of like holding myself to that standard, that makes other people go like, oh, so that means that deep down you really don't think that I'm an artist. And it's like, no, I do. And then it just kind of like, you know, loops into this very like frustrating thing where I can't express myself properly because, you know, it is what it is. But, oh, yo, hold on. That is the greatest thing I've ever seen in my life. Let's go. Can your nostrils become haunted? Let's snort that corpse dust, baby. Love to see it. Love to see it. We're gonna take some stamina just so that I don't have to rest and we can just, like, ball out of our minds, you know what I mean? It's Medusa. Medusa has such a weird mystery spread, bro. Oh, you thought that I was going to eat shit and lose all of my stamina to the bear trap? Ye of little faith. Ye of little faith. Oh, fuck, we lost all of our stamina. Motherfucker. We could die here, but, you know, fuck it, we ball, fuck it, we ball, fuck it, we ball. Powerful aura, powerful energy. We have Goizo, by the way, so it's like, what do you want to do here? Well, I don't want to die, but I also don't want Jury to die, so let's get a little greedy. Motherfucker. It's like, literally, like, yeah, okay. So, you are doing 3 damage, which is a little scary. But, yeah, no, I had an idea of what I want the cover to be, and I'm not an artist. I can't draw the cover. But, what I can do is, one of the things that I like doing is I like layering textures and I like layering colors. And so, I found out that, you know, the fuckers over at the Creative Cloud, they have a mobile app that's sort of like shitty Photoshop, but it does have, not as good as like Corel Painter, like significantly worse than Corel Painter. They do have like oil brushes, and I like digital oil brushes. I'm bad with them, but I like layering stuff with digital oil brushes. And so, what I did this morning on this lovely Saturday morning, which by the time you watch this, will probably be like a Sunday morning or a Monday morning, so I'm in the past, it's the weekend. You know, just saying. So this is gonna do 10 damage. So this is gonna do 10 damage, and then this is going to do 15 damage. I don't really want to die. But, like, it'll be fine, though, right? It'll be fine. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. It'll be great. It'll be wonderful. Thank you so much. But, yeah, no, so I like layering colors, I like layering textures, right? So, because the story that I'm writing, it is based off of fairy tales, specifically, the reason that I'm writing it, and it is because I read a fairy tale from the Lang color fairy books. Now, it's very important to give credit where it's due. The author of the fairy books, the credited author, I think it's Andrew Lang, he technically is basically, like, stealing the credit, like, entirely. I can't remember if it's his sister or his wife. I think it's his wife. I don't remember if she's the sister or the wife. I'm pretty sure she's the wife. She was the one who knew the fairy tales and translated them into English and wrote them, right? So, like, she knew the stories, she translated and wrote them. And then what he did is that he would then basically pick and choose which fairy tales and which stories and which, like, went where, right? So he was basically his job was basically just to select the composition of the compilation. Okay, so that's important to give credit where it's due. But the color fairy books are really cool. I really like them. They're a little bit yikes. They're a little bit yikes. Okay, some of them are actually really yikes, okay? But there was one story in there that I really, really liked. And it's one of the stories that, because the idea is that old fairy tales are fucked up, man. Old fairy tales are really fucked up. That's true, Nuke, right? Old fairy tales, especially old European fairy tales, very bad endings, alright? These characters do not have good endings, these characters do not have a happy time. And so, you know, what I wanted to do was I wanted to, you know, write a book. And there is, like, a musical that is in a similar, not style, presentation, vein, genre, or anything of the sort. But it has a similar idea, which is basically, like, these fairy tale characters exist in sort of like a collective world, and they have these bad fates, these bad endings, and they have an opportunity to, like, change their own fates. Because something that rubs me the wrong way about a lot of the fairy tales, like a lot of the classic fairy tales, especially the, the H.C. Andersen ones. I think I'm getting his name right. I could be totally wrong, though. I am a little bit, just a tiny bit sleep deprived, okay? Just a tiny bit sleep deprived. I don't know if you could tell. Not to get, don't get parasocial on me, but, you know, I'm just a teeny tiny bit sleep deprived. It's true. It's Rue. It's Philip Sinclair's Lust Defense Guard. Okay, alright, back on the thing, because, like, you know, we're almost... It doesn't matter, man. Jury's already dead. We're okay. Is that a lot of the things that happen in these older fairy tales is the characters are, they go through, like, unimaginable suffering, and, like, some of the characters go through immense, like, crazy suffering, alright? Like, you know, one of the, there were two fairy tales, both of which I am adapting into the books TM * asterisk that I'm trying to write. Is The Girl Who Tread Upon the Loaf. That was like half the inspiration, and then whatchamacallit, the story of Deshmila and Deshmil. Those are two that I really did. And also Janny and the Draken. There's some problematic elements to all of those stories, okay? It's one of those things where you gotta, like, just put the disclaimer where it's like, listen, there's some problematic stuff here. It's pretty bad. But it was at the historical point at the time, which is why those stories are like that. So, you know, obviously you gotta take some of those elements, not like, you gotta redirect some of that stuff to something more, to something else. Sorry, I'm a little sleep deprived, and some of the themes and such, if we're being anti-intellectual here, are a little bit much to get into in a World of Horror video. So you gotta trust me that I know ball, okay? It's gonna be bad, obviously, but, like, you gotta trust that I know ball, and that eventually it will be good. But, like, the thing is about a lot of, like, these fairy tales, right, is that the characters are either, they go through unimaginable suffering, especially in The Girl Who Tread Upon the Loaf. Like, that is the, like, basically, like, poster fairy tale for what I'm talking about, but it's, like, a wider phenomena, right? Is, like, these characters go through, like, unimaginable suffering that no child should ever go through. And then they are not redeemed by themselves. They are redeemed by either a man who ends up causing them a lot of pain, because it's sort of seen as like a, you know, the sinner is being redeemed but still has to suffer, or they are redeemed by God. And the thing that always just kind of rubbed me the wrong way about them is, like, the characters suffer way, and I know it's like a cautionary tale, and that's the point of it. It's like, oh, you know, if you misbehave, like, the, you know, Krampus is gonna, like, kill you, or, like, the boogeyman is gonna get you, or something, right? I know that's the point. It's a cautionary tale. But it's like the suffering that these characters go through is way disproportionate to the crime, okay? Stepping on a loaf of bread does not mean you deserve to get tortured in hell, okay? You do not need to get tortured in hell because you stepped on a loaf of bread, okay? You know, listen, maybe in, like, you know, 2028 America, if you step on a loaf of bread, then maybe you deserve to go to hell. But, like, in 2026 America, pre the great, like, fuel shortage, the great fertilizer shortage, pre all of that, you don't deserve to go to hell for standing on a loaf of bread, okay? It's just excessive. And the detail in which you go to hell for stepping on a loaf is very excessive as well. So I wanted to sort of, like, make a story where the characters are given an opportunity to redeem themselves instead of being redeemed by, you know, a male authority figure or God, which, you know, a lot of people would also interpret as a male authority figure as well. So I guess I just have to say that once. But, you know, more of, like, you know, a mortal male authority figure versus a divine authority figure, if that makes sense, right? But anyways, to kind of, like, wrap all of this up, because, you know, we're out of time. We're not actually out of time. It's Saturday. I have as much time as I want. It's actually not true. If this went on for, like, you know, 8 hours or something, I would be late to raid. But, you know, where's the Land Drifters thing? Where's the Land Drifters thing? There it is. We are drifters. I completely derailed my train of thought, but now it's back on the tracks. I wanted to, as sort of like a homage, there's a really good cover for the Color Fairy books that I really like. It's very simple. It's sort of like a flat drab color with, like, texturing, with, like, very heavy texturing, with, like, lines. And it's very pretty. I think if you look up... I'm gonna check it right now. It should be the Gray Fairy Book First Edition. That should show it to you. That should show it to you pretty quickly. Now, you know, the photos do come in a lot of different, like, quality as far as the pictures are concerned. But I wanted to go with either sort of like a greenish gray or like a gray. I haven't really decided yet, but I wanted to go with that sort of like gray, and then I want to have a because it's like a gray book with like a golden fairy standing on top of a golden owl with a golden like crescent moon and a golden star. And I think that is fucking beautiful. I think that's peak. I think that's like one of the best book covers I've ever seen in my goddamn life, brother. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to kind of draw something like that. I wanted to draw something like that sort of drab background. And I went a little too green-gray, I think. But I basically, like, I wanted to do that, where it has, like, the heavy textured lines, and maybe that's just wear and tear from being old, but I think it's such an amazing, immaculate aesthetic. I think it looks so fucking good, and so I wanted to try something like that with a bunch of vertical and horizontal lines. And, you know, because my hands are shaky, I'm not the best at this sort of thing, there are probably some diagonal lines, too. It's not the most coherent thing, but I think I kind of understand the texturing, at least from that perspective, and I like how you can mess around with colors, and you can, like, play with lights and stuff, with, like, lighting, and how you can do, like, unique shadows and unique highlights. Like, there's a... I'm not gonna show it on YouTube, but eventually it will be on Discord. We'll do, like, a whole... There's, like, a whole Pandora's Box Discord arc that we have to go on that I was hoping to go on in this episode, but, you know, we started talking about this stupid shit instead. But basically, I spent, like, 5 or 6 hours this morning doing a little, like, fake digital oil painting. And I really like it. It's very bad. It's very bad, okay? But I really do like it. I really like it. And, you know, it'll be shown online at some point. It is the most, like, kindergarten, like, shit imaginable. Like, you know, if I was single-digit age and I handed that in for an assignment, you'd put, like, a magnet and, like, stick it on the fridge, right? Like, it's pretty embarrassing on how bad it is. But... you know, I've never really done something like that before, and it was a lot of fun. And so maybe that's not so bad, you know? Maybe it's like, maybe it's not so bad. Maybe it's alright, maybe it's cool, you know? Maybe it's like, you know, you do a little bit of self-expression, even though it looks really bad. I still like it. I still think it's cool. So what are we looking at Land Drifters for? Here's the thing, alright? I have reached 100% recycling, okay? So that means that all of my activity buffs here make no effect. Well, they do actually have an effect. I'm gaining quite a lot. But, like, if you look at this, right, it says 117 per day, right? That is, I have 117 here, right? So if I take all this shit off, it still says 117, because I have 100% recycling. But we are at the point where I'm going to go beyond. I'm going to go fucking beyond, chat. It is time for 105% recycling. I don't know what this is going to do. I am excited. So we're gaining 4.87 per hour, okay? What are we getting now? Oh my god, 5.11. It's beautiful. You can just, like... mana is free. You can just print more of it. That's awesome, dude. I do need to get multitasking at some point, and probably max energy storage. Maybe of efficiency, I want to get everything going, even though Study Ancient Magic isn't implemented into the game yet, just because at this point, if I am like, you know, if I take these things off, I'm getting less now. So it's like I want to spend as much points, I want to spend as many points as possible, basically. I think you always want to do that, even if you don't have 100% recycling, because you are still gaining, like, the EXP from all of these things, and then you're recycling it into here. So you're always gaining, I think. You're always gaining, I think, but when you get past 100%, you just reach the fucking... You go nuclear. You're on fire. It's beautiful. Anyways, thanks for watching. Stay safe out there. Have a good one. Bye!